What's going on, Helmet Gang? We are back with another podcast. It's the 8th episode of the Helmet Save Lives podcast here on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, SoundCloud. You know where to find us. You know where to find me. Today is Thursday, February 18th, 2021. I'm so happy you're here listening with me with the audio-only version. I'm driving home from work right now, so not going to have the video, but I figured had some things on my mind. I wanted to kind of check in and share some thoughts and just chat it up with you guys a little bit. It's been a little bit since I last had a podcast. Last one was with my guy Noah Festenstein. Just kind of recapping the accident, kind of just talking about myself, the movement, which was awesome. If you have not checked out Noah's stuff, Monday Madness Sports Talk, please go, give him some love, obviously. Really awesome guy, doing some great stuff in the sports industry. Someone I know from college. As well as Sam Olson. I did a kind of a podcasty, well, I guess there's a podcast on his website, but kind of he featured me in one of his local like spotlight things, which was really cool. I had to kind of start that off. I was like the first featured person, someone I know from high school, friend of mine from high school. So super great that I could chat with Sam. It had been several years, probably since my freshman year of college, since we last talked. So that was really cool to meet up with Sam. Check out his stuff too. But besides that, obviously still popping off on the TikTok, man. If you are not following the TikTok, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are from the TikTok, unless you're from my Instagram, which is obviously completely possible as well. That's where I started this whole thing back in August. So if you're here from the TikTok, welcome. Glad you made it to the podcast, over to the YouTube, over to the SoundCloud, over to the Apple Podcast. If you're here from the Instagram, you may or may not know I am on TikTok. That's where I've been more recently, growing this community, expanding the movement. I got about 3,500 followers. We are climbing every day, still going up, which is incredible. The fact that I can just post TikToks about something that it's definitely not very common on TikTok. I know a lot of people are posting dances or posting kind of like trendy content, like news or other entertaining stuff. But to have a like bike safety focused page, like that's all I post. Like the fact that I posted over 200 videos and I've had just so much just support. It's just been absolutely incredible. So obviously thank you so much for that. If you're not, it's Helmet Save Lives as well. The Instagram is also Helmet Save Lives. Been posting on there a little bit too. If you're from the TikTok and you have not seen the Instagram, that's where I've been posting a little bit more of my like accident. I mean, back it goes all the way back to August, but stuff. TikTok has community guidelines and there's stuff that I can't really put on there. So I was really obviously before TikTok, that's where I put a lot of my stuff. But if you're interested in seeing some, I guess like never before seen pictures, videos, some just general facts, information about the crash, about me, go to my Instagram, Helmet Save Lives. And outside of that, I wanted to kind of touch on some of the I guess like core beliefs, like core principles of the movement. Maybe a reminder for those that don't really know exactly or have kind of gotten lost. I feel like a lot of people on TikTok especially have kind of like lost sight of what my objective is, what my mission is here, and like what the focus is. So I started Helmet Save Lives, obviously a lot of people know, after I was involved in a traumatic bike accident last July. The main ER nurse kind of was like, like your helmet saved your life. Like we have a lot of people come in here all the time that like don't wear a helmet, unfortunately, and suffer like severe injuries or aren't as fortunate as you are. And then from then on, I was like, this is cool. Like my dentist was kind of like, like it could have been worse if you didn't have a helmet, all this kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. So when I started it, like it was like really like kind of like blog focused. Like I wanted to kind of document kind of like what I was doing, because when I did initially start it, I still, it was like probably like less than a month after, and I still had like pain in my mouth. Like I still hadn't gotten my crowns put on. So at this point, I still had like my jaggedy teeth, like the crooked, sliced, super dope looking broken teeth. So I like really wanted to kind of like highlight myself, and I don't know. I always thought it was cool to see like when people kind of start an Instagram, like besides their personal one. Like I could obviously put this on my main like personal Instagram, but I feel like I just kind of thought it'd be cool to have like a more focused page where I could kind of not bother people that didn't want to see it. Like not that it's not important for everybody to see, but I think to kind of cluster everyone's timeline with biking stuff when they're following me for my own personal stuff. Anyway, so I mean, and like it kind of slowly transitioned into this community as I started to gain following like worldwide. Like I know I've talked about like I would like go on like hashtags and like people's pictures and comment and follow people that I thought were interesting and kind of wanted to share my story. I would like message people, and like over time, like it kind of picked up. And then I'm obviously at like over 1,000 now, like 1,100 people, which is still incredible to me. That's insane. Like the fact that I can have that much of a following, that much of a like fan base, I guess you could, that much of a community, you could say, is still like really incredible to me. So I like wasn't really sure where I kind of wanted to take it. As I said, I just wanted to do like a blog type thing, and then as it kind of shaped into this community, I kind of wanted to be like, okay, well, here's what I stand for. And like I guess maybe I never set the standards, never really put it straight up, like kind of said like, okay, like a post about like here's what this means. But I feel like I kind of just naturally like turned it into something like through TikTok then, because it came this like I realized that like people wanted to like care about this, people wanted to support this. So I realized that once like someone said, oh, this is like the Helmet Gang, I realized that once it kind of became this like brand, this like title, this something bigger than myself, I guess you could say, that I wanted to really kind of like make sure I kept that in line. And I feel like oftentimes, I mean like specifically, not even mainly, specifically on TikTok, I think a lot of people kind of have gotten lost in like trying to call people out for not wearing a helmet, which I think is something that should be, I think it's important to be done, but I think it should be done in a certain form. Like I obviously love to see all the tags. People tag me in videos all the time. I get probably like maybe 10-15 tags a day about like, look at this guy not wearing a helmet, oh like, check this guy out, like look at this thing. And I think that is so cool. I think the fact that you guys want to interact with me, and because like most people know that I'll like either like the comment or I'll like respond, or I'll even comment on that person's video too. But when we start getting into like the, hey, like call this guy out, no helmet, no like no respect, no helmet, like that kind of thing, that's where I kind of want to clear things up and draw the line, because the whole purpose is to be encouraging, is to be positive, is to be welcoming, like, and I feel like I have kind of reflected that in my posts, in a lot of my comments I've made to people, in addressing people in my comment section myself, and I think a lot of times people kind of want to just jump on them and be like, oh, like no helmet, so therefore I should tag helmet save lives, and then kind of have him deal with this. But like, if anything, like, I mean, I guess maybe people are wondering, okay, then how do we address it? I'd say more so like, hey man, like, okay, no, hold on. Like the way that I do it, I'll be like, hey, like, I can't wait to see you wearing a helmet in your next video. Or like, or more of like, hey, like, you should look into buying a helmet. And then a lot of times those people are kind of like, oh, well, I don't have one. Or like, hold on, I gotta figure out how to get off on this exit here. Wait, one sec, guys. I'm still driving. My phone's posted up on my little dashboard, but I need to figure out how to get off here. Oh, I'm still going. Okay, I want to make sure I was in the right lane here. But yeah, so I think that a lot of times people, I just totally digressed. What was I even saying? Yeah, like to be like super positive about it, because like if the whole point is to create this world of like everybody wearing a helmet, to have like not have helmets being like a question, to have them be second nature. I think like to do so with anything, like if you want people to be on your side for anything, like in an argument, in a like movement, in a like protest, anything like that, I think you need to be welcoming. You need to be like, you can't be polarizing. It can't be like, oh, like you suck for not wearing a helmet, or like I unfollowed you because you didn't wear a helmet. Like I just don't see the point in that. I really don't. And maybe I've kind of come across that way to some people, as like demanding people wear helmets or controlling people's lives, like, because I've gotten responses of like, oh, like, you can't tell me what to do, and you're right. I can't tell you what to do. I don't want to tell you what to do. I want to kind of just use my, and here's the main thing. My goal is to use my experience, use my platform to then like create change. Like, I want to be able to be like, okay, what's an example? I'm trying to think. I don't know. I'll come back to it. But yeah, I want to just use my, like I said, like use my personal testimony and use, like, I think I have some pretty strong evidence to say that, hey, like, here's why you should wear a helmet. And I know that people have like a lot of defense, like, oh, they're uncomfortable, or they're expensive, or my dad never wears one, or oh, like, my sister stole mine, or there's all these different reasons. And I think that's definitely, to an extent, or, hold on, let me get back to it. I think where people will be like, oh, like, I've never fallen on my head, or, oh, I'm not gonna fall riding 6 miles an hour to my neighbor's house. Now, I guess I'm gonna kind of now go through those and debunk some. So, starting out, I know helmets are uncomfortable. I would totally rather have the wind flowing through my hair, not wearing something on my head, like not getting my head extra sweaty, not messing up my hair. Like, I get it. Like, they're not comfortable. And if I'm being quite honest, I side with you there. I am right with you there when you say that. But I think kind of all these kind of things lead to, like, it's a sacrifice. It's a decision you make because you know it's the right thing, it's a smart thing, and it just comes down to safety. Now, if you want to say that they're expensive, I've said it once, I'll say it. I've said it 100 times, I'll say it again. I see no reason how, if you can afford a bike, you can afford a helmet. And I've talked about before, my helmet that I crashed in, my Louis Garneau helmet, that's like an entry level, like, I got it in like middle school. It's like a kid's helmet. I mean, it still fit me because I got like a big enough size where it fit my head, even as of late. But like, you can wear a cheap helmet. I mean, is it worth investing in a more expensive one, like mid-range, a little more expensive one? Sure, 100%. But I think it's important to get the point across that you can still have the protection, you can still have coverage with that entry level, with that cheaper helmet. This guy's trying to pass me right now. Oh. There's so much snow in Chicago and people are still like driving aggressively. Illinois, I guess I should say. People are driving so aggressively and the roads are not amazing. But I promise I'm paying attention. I promise my phone's not up to my ear or anything. But yeah, like, if you can afford a bike, you can afford a helmet. Like, it shouldn't be a question. Like, people rocking like thousands of dollars of road bikes or mountain bikes and saying that they can't afford it. Come on, miss me with that, man. I'm sorry. That I don't like to hear that. Now, if we're gonna talk about, oh, I've never fallen, or oh, like, I'm not gonna fall, I get that. I mean, I hadn't really had a hard fall until last July. I mean, I had some more casual things, or if I'm trying to unclip, when I was on learning clipless pedals probably 3-4 years ago, I would kind of tumble over, but I never had anything severe. Like, was I planning on falling? No. Do I consider myself a pretty experienced, safe, and skilled rider? Of course I do. But I think it really comes down to the fact that you wear a helmet because you don't know what's going to happen. It is unpredictable, and I mean, I just think to justify like previous experience, it's like saying that, like, oh, like, I'm not going to drive wearing a seatbelt because I have never gotten in a car accident. I mean, there's so many. I think that's a beautiful example. Like, the fact that you never know when someone's gonna run a red light, when someone's gonna rear end you, when someone's gonna, I mean, any of these things, man. Or maybe it's your fault. Like, you never know when you're gonna hit a deer, or when you're gonna like lose control of your car. Like, I mean, even more recently, I think maybe I've given this example before, but coronavirus, COVID-19, like that's like saying like, I mean, and this is something that people say that I don't understand. I'm not gonna wear a mask because I like haven't gotten COVID yet, or I just don't see the point because like COVID doesn't exist. I mean, like it's a little different, but it's like all these things are so similar, and I see no reason why biking and helmet wearing shouldn't be the same. I think that is right up there with those. I think that to justify and kind of make excuses, I think to not, I think a lot of people have pride, especially in skateboarding, BMX riding, some of these things. Like the built-in culture of those sports is like wearing a helmet isn't cool. Wearing a helmet doesn't look like professional, or like people make fun of people for wearing helmets. There was something else I was going to add on that point. I'm trying to think what it was. I'm trying to think. I'm still driving, so I'm kind of distracted. And usually I have a whole like setup thing. I got a whole list in front of me of what I'm going to talk about, and I kind of practice it, but just kind of wanted to go off the cuff here for a bit. Oh, I think I was going to talk about, yeah. It's like, I know more recently I've seen like, I've got a decent amount of following from like winter people, like skiing people, snowboarding people, which I think is so dope. Like, hey man, like I've gotten messages like, hey, like, I know this is based around biking, but I ski and like, I had this fall last weekend on this mountain, whatever, and my helmet saved my life. Like, that is so cool to me. That this started as, and like this is something I think I've touched on before too, but this started as primarily a just biking focused thing, and it still is. It still is. But that I've had like equestrian horse riders, or that I've had like someone who was a hockey goalie tagged me in one of his videos the other day, like a few years ago, and was like, he used my audio about like, tell me about a time your helmet saved your life, or whatever one it was. I don't know. I don't think which one it was, but yeah, it's just like this is a universal issue across. I mean, that's not a question in hockey, those kind of things. Like you kind of always do, but there was still something else I was going to add. That wasn't the main point, but anyway, those are some of my thoughts. I mean, yeah, going forward, I'd obviously love to continue to hear some suggestions on like what you guys want to hear. So I've been kind of getting more into this, obviously. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna go back to my the cost of my helmet. So I wear a Specialized Align helmet. Nothing too complicated, but I want to kind of touch on that. I wasn't super into bike safety or like the whole kind of I mean really just helmets in general until probably like October, end of September, like once I kind of got the page up and running. So that helmet doesn't have MIPS. It's like a $50 helmet. Not saying Specialized is a bad brand whatsoever. They follow me on TikTok, so I Specialized. But I just kind of want to touch on that. That like I think that similar to my Garneau helmet, I think that I just want to kind of reassure people, because I've got some comments like, oh, like I have this helmet, like is this okay? And I kind of want to just clarify that like I think that like any helmet is better than no helmet. This guy's coming up so fast on me. I'm gonna get over. Wow. And that yeah, I think just taking pride in the fact that you wear a helmet, and if you're made fun of, I mean, that's definitely not something I've really had to deal with, but I know it's really common. A lot of times people comment like, oh, like, I just don't want to wear a helmet to the skate park because this guy is always over there making fun of me. I get that, man. I get that. You just gotta take pride in that. the fact that you're making the smart, safe decision. And this is something that I always respond to those comments. I'm like, yeah, just like stay strong, keep rocking it. Like, you know that it's the move. Like, you know that you're doing the right thing. And the people, or they'll be like, oh yeah, like this guy Kevin, who always makes fun of us at the skate park, actually fell and like cracked his head the other day. Like, it's karma. It's gonna come back and bite you if you're not doing the right thing. So, yeah, going forward, I mean, still trying to keep cranking out content. I put up my helmet review yesterday. If you have not checked that out, check out my Specialized Align helmet review on the YouTube, obviously. Helmet Save Lives. I think my YouTube's Helmet Save Lives podcast, actually. I think that's what the YouTube's called. Because I couldn't get Helmet Save Lives, or maybe I just typed that in because I planned on putting podcast in this or something. I don't know, I can't remember. But anyway, Helmet Gang, you guys are amazing. I want to thank you once again for all the incredibly kind comments, messages every single day. I hear you, I see you. All the likes, the shares, the follows, coming into the lives. The lives have been super dope too. So I'm trying to go live on Instagram a little bit more, but TikTok's just been the main focus as of late. So anyway, that's it for this 8th episode. Crazy, we're already 8. I've been trying to do more consistently, but I just haven't. Oh, that's what I was gonna touch on. I was touching my trainer. So that's what it was. See, sometimes it just comes back to you like that. So I was gonna talk about. I still have not been active on the trainer. I just kind of want to update you guys in case you were like, yo, like maybe he's hitting it more. Not really. Yo, shout out to Nathaniel. Shout out Corey. A couple of my close friends who have been we're trying to like organize the trainer rides, but with work, I mean, school, I mean, those are both excuses that I shouldn't be making. But I mean, I guess straight up, like my dad too, been trying to ride, but just straight up, like it's just been hard to get myself on there. I think I've gotten into a habit of not doing it. Oh, like riding once a week, or only riding for half an hour, only riding for just under an hour. Like, I did 20 miles probably, I did 20 miles like a few weeks ago, so you guys didn't know about that. So I have done a nice long ride recently, but overall I have not been hitting the trainer too much. So hopefully I can be hitting that more soon. I know we're coming in the middle of February here, hopefully getting outside. We still got we got like 2 feet of snow on the ground. It's gotten even worse since I probably last checked in with you guys. You can hear the wipers maybe on the dashboard just squeaking around. It's so cold here. It's 21 right now, but so much snow. So hoping it melts soon enough. By the time spring break, March just rolls around, April, May. I mean, I would love to go outside. I miss riding outside so much. I can't wait to rock my just all my clothes and my sunglasses. Have some new cycling kits coming soon, so stay tuned for those. Shout out Elio. You guys will see those shortly here. So, all right, that's it. It's been like 23 minutes already. So that was the main. That's what I want to kind of highlight there. Love you all. You guys are amazing. If you're still listening at this point, seriously, like, you're a real one. So much gratitude towards you. And I'm changing exits here anyway. Perfect. This would be a great time to end so I can focus. Yeah. Anyway, Helmet King, obviously sub to the YouTube if you're here. Follow the Instagram, follow the TikTok at Helmet Save Lives. Comment, like, share this with somebody who needs to wear a helmet. I mean, I'm always down for new members of the community, so definitely invite them, welcome them. Of course, be encouraging and positive, like I said. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I will catch you guys in the next one. Please, always wear a helmet. Helmets save lives. See you later.